right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back for the Week 9 edition of your Power Rankings. Well, another big week in the league last week, and a lot of big results. Top of the list is yours truly, putting up a whopping 612 points. Is that good? Is that good, guys?
Oh, we've had to hear about this for the last 4 fucking hours.
Get
over yourself.
That might be good, but I'm not sure.
Get over yourself.
Can you confirm that it's good for me?
Yeah, you beat the shit out of Elias. Congratulations.
Woo! No big deal. In addition to that wonderful, wonderful, awesome piece of news, Brian Swan and the Grand Island Landsharks have officially moved into a playoff spot. Battled their way back from the basement, and they are now officially not in last place in their division. Congratulations, Brian. Keep up the phenomenal work. And last but not least, the Crosby Bears suffered a big defeat in more ways than one last week. We'll cover all that and more in this week's edition of the Power Rankings.
All right, and topping our list this week, this guy right here, the Fighting Mongooses. It appears his team is officially back to early season form after a little hiccup a couple weeks ago. For the second straight week, after losing 2 in a row, he was able to top 500 points, despite a scoring adjustment against his favor when they took a hat trick away from Weidman, I believe it was.
It was.
So, his newly started winning streak looks like it has a good chance of continuing as he gets to face off against the Oilers team that has now dropped 3 in a row and 4 out of its last 5.
Very good work, Casey. A job well done last week.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
And coming in at number 2 this week are the Swan Divers. And it was something of a mediocre week for the Divers last week, but good teams find a way to win. And he picked up his league-leading 7th win of the season against the fumbling Oilers.
Hey, wait a minute. I have 7 wins too. How's he leading?
Well, does anyone have 8?
Well,
No.
So then 7 wins is league-leading.
Right, but why didn't you say my 7 wins was leading?
Because I didn't write yours.
Oh.
Sit back down. He was 6th in the league in scoring, despite Theodore losing him a whopping 13 points on Sunday.
Oops.
But thanks to a favorable matchup against a weaker opponent, it didn't bite him. But considering the way his team has been performing lately, it ought to be a barn burner this week, in a battle to see who sleeps on the couch next week.
Shit. And coming in at number 3 this week are the Silverblades. A resounding win for the Silverblades this week with a final point total of 612 against a solid-looking cheap shot squad who put up 501 points of his own. His manly beard led his team to victory with a little help from Kessler, Hartnell, and Luongo, who all put up great numbers for him. All it's going to take is one slip-up for these guys to take over first in the Campbell division. Watch out, Swan Divers. He's a-coming for you.
I am a-coming for you.
We'll see
It's
about
only a
that.
matter of time.
We'll see.
Whatever, hippie.
Yeah, I shaved.
Yeah, and now you look even more like a hippie.
Oh.
Crap. You smell like a hippie.
All right, number 4 this week, Redwall Avengers. Once again, this rookie owner is managing her team like she has been in the league from year 1. She was able to come away with the win this week, in which 4 of her top 6 performers were not on her roster after the draft. She has come away with some solid free agency acquisitions over the past month or 2. All of that is saving her from her lingering issue that goes by the name of Corey Crawford. Once again, he came out of this week in the negatives. This week will be a big test as she will be taking on the division-leading Swan Divers. Good luck.
Very good luck. All right, coming in at number 5 this week are the Black-Eyed Cabbies. It's an old mantra, but it almost always holds true. If you don't update your team, you can't win. And not updating is exactly what he did on 2 occasions last week, and it cost him 50 points. Now, wouldn't have been enough to win him the matchup, mind you, but it certainly didn't help him any. This week he's going to face off against a weaker opponent in the cheap shots, but don't let that record fool you. The Cheapies are 6th in the league in points and dropped 500 points as recently as last week. This is no sure thing.
Coming in at number 6 this week are the Boston Redcoats. Another week, another loss for the forlorn Redcoats. He made some moves on his roster this week, adding Rome and Cassian. He also dropped some Deadwood and Hedberg. He's taking advice and trying to make moves, but he just can't seem to get it quite right. His goaltending situation is still a murky quagmire of broken promises and disappointments. A trade seems in order to hopefully pull him in at least one decent starting goalie. He's going to have to right the ship soon if he hopes to make the playoffs this year.
Yes, he is.
Trades are often a good thing.
Yeah.
Often a good thing. But coming in at number 7 this week are the Edmonton Oilers. Another loss makes 3 in a row, and it drops the Oilers to under 500 for the first time this season. And this was a loss in true Ken fashion. Our experts reviewed his performance last week and discovered that he started the wrong goaltender every time he had a choice. In fact, if he had started Carey Price every time he had multiple goaltenders going, he would have won his matchup. Yours is a strong legacy, Ken. Strong and deserving.
Thank you.
It's good to have you back, buddy.
Very good.
All right, coming in number 8. Look at this. The Grand Island Land Sharks now have a winning streak.
Woo!
This past week, he was able to come away with a very impressive win, coming just shy of 500 points. The nearly 140-point victory came largely in part due to his opponent putting up 0 points both on Wednesday and Friday.
Ooh.
His team is starting to come together after a very sluggish start. And now that he ripped 2 decent players from Ken, you might want to take upcoming matchups against him a little more seriously than you would have from the start of the season.
Absolutely.
Keep it up, Bri.
He's on my radar.
Coming in at number 9 this week are the top shelf cheap shots. His team is finally coming around and scoring some points for him. Unfortunately, it was on the week he played the Silver Blades, who put up a week high 612. Florida, breaking out as the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference, seems to have something to do with it.
Yeah. My Panthers.
His top 2 scoring players for the week were both Panthers. His goalies are putting up respectable numbers. He'll start rolling out with some wins soon.
Very good work. Very good work. And coming in at number 10, in the basement this week are the North Pole Polar Bears. Last week was a pretty tough pill to swallow, and there were multiple prescriptions. First, a difficult loss in which he topped 500 points, but in the end wasn't really close to his juggernaut opponent.
Sorry, Matt.
And most importantly, Sidney Crosby has had a recurrence of his concussion symptoms. He is out, and there is no timetable for his return. Now, it was promising that his team put up as many points as they did without the aid of his top gun, but the success of his team is obviously directly proportionate to his star. The ceiling for his team without Crosby is much lower.
Who had like a week and a half, 2 weeks in the poll we had for how long Crosby would be back?
Oh, as far as points?
Oh, it was
Yeah.
total points.
Oh, was
Total
it
points for the year. So, I mean, he could come back. I mean, they're saying that the extent of the injury is not as bad as it was in January, but still, no timetable for the return is not anything you ever want to hear about any of your players, much less your franchise.
This is true.
Yeah.
Very difficult situation. Time to make some trades.
Crosby, Stalls, and Nash. Anyone?
Crosby, Stalls, and Nash.
I got a stall.
In case you're wondering what that
There's
is,
Stahl, too.
what we'd like to happen one day in the league is for one owner to own Sidney Crosby, multiple Stalls, and Rick Nash, and they would then call their team Crosby, Stalls, and Nash,
Like the band.
like very much like the band. Yes,
Pretty much.
if that could happen, I mean, my life as a league manager, that's the apex.
Hockey boner?
That is the most ridiculous hockey erection ever. Just exploding out of my pants. I'm not even sure that my waistband could contain that kind of erection.
So much bonus.
So much blood. I'd pass out. There wouldn't be enough blood left in my body to support brain function. That's how massive that would be. But anyways, after that revealing note, that's going to wrap up our Week 9 edition of the Power Rankings. I'd once again like to thank my management team, Casey Brown, Mark Swan, and all of you as owners for your continued participation in the league. Everybody keep up the good work. But that's going to be it. Tune in next week, same great time, same great channel for more Power Rankings. Good luck in your matchups.
Bye, everybody.
Everybody have a good one.
See ya.
He was born in Big Beaver by the borderline. He started playing hockey by the time he was 9. His dad took the hose and froze the backyard. Little buddy dreamed he was Rocket Richard. He grew up big and he grew up tough. He saw himself scoring for the Wings or Canucks, but he wasn't that good with the puck. But his real talent was beating people up. His heart wasn't in it, but the crowd ate it up. Through peewees and juniors and midgets and mites, he must have racked up more than 300 fights, till a scout from the Flames came down from Saskatoon, said there's always room on our team for a goon. Son, we've always got room for a goon.
Yeah, and now you look even more like a hippie.
Oh. Crap. You smell like a hippie too.
You know what? And leave this in there. I want to know, like, everyone take a nice, good look at Mark, look at his clean-shaven face, and look at the scraggly hair. And you decide that if he shaves his face, he has to also get a haircut, otherwise he just looks foolish. What do you think?
I disagree.
I wasn't asking you. I was asking Casey.
I just don't think you should shave. You look funny.